everybody, I want to Wiisdom here. It is now Thursday, July 13th, 2:22 in the morning. Believe it or not, I step out of the shower, it was about 1:15, and I hear what I think are gunshots, right? And lo and behold, about 5-6 minutes later, something goes off again. Sounds more like a firework. And yeah, I had idiot neighbors here 8 days after the 4th of July randomly decide to shoot off fireworks. I'm pretty sure the two were drunk. It was this dude, roughly probably my age, and his dad. And I don't know. It's a strange world we live in. Speaking of strange, you probably noticed something different here. And what I was doing, okay, I reset, actually, where we left off with Tidepool. We did Secret Forces first in hopes we like Aquamarine Ranger better because she's a quick shot and it kind of suits the character better in my opinion. That turned out to be a pretty good path. And a lot of times, you know, something may showcase here at the training grounds or with the dummies, and then it can be completely different in game. You can usually anticipate things with the dummies since they are mobile enemies. If you were just stuck with these, you know, it would be way different. But utilizing the dummies upstairs from the gumball dispenser, you can get a feel for freezing, knockback, knock up, wave attacks, you know, the tide pool that we had, everything along those lines. What I did when I went into Sky Fortress to go back and get her Sky Chi, which is my favorite part of this game, by the way, constantly going back for sensei shrines, even though the cutscene is stored away upstairs at the academy. But what I did is I went in, and of course what I like to do is the character I'm resetting, I'll just play as them, because at that point in time, I can max them out at level 20 for all I care. I'm going to have to reset them right before the sensei shrine is what I do, and that way I actually get to play with their path. Utilizing her path through there, it was pretty cool. I've got to say. And then, of course, yesterday, or I guess 2 days ago now, Tuesday, when the video came out, everyone came out of the woodworks like, oh, hey, you know, I hate to tell you, but Secret Forces is better. So I'm not sure where all those additional inputs were when we did the base upgrades, but nonetheless, your thoughts are appreciated. So that's what we're going to do here tonight. But what I have to do is, since I'm in such a time crunch, typically I like to have two characters that I'm upgrading at the same time. So it would be her and Blastertron. Blastertron is next on the agenda. But if I were to do that under my time constraints, it would be a nightmare. I'm recording this at 2:20 in the morning. I have to be to work in like 5 hours. And the problem is I have to record this and then edit it, wait for it to render, and then upload it. So it's kind of a catch-22. If I go to bed while it's rendering, that's great, but then I have to get up and then upload it and hope nothing goes wrong because I'll be at work and can't restart it. Similarly, these take a while to render, so you know, back if I had more free time, it would be a deal. I would come in and I would render things, and then while I'm doing that, I would go through Blastertron, right? And so then whenever I reset Tidepool, I'd already have Blastertron there. I'd reset him, and I like to get money. This has been coming up like, hey, how do you have level 1 characters with 14,000 coins on them? And I use my money trick. And what I do with that is I come in and I use 2 characters at a time because it's more efficient and that saves me time. But since I haven't gotten to do Blastertron, which I would have done in a perfect world, just stagger those two. And then, of course, you can release Tidepool base, Blastertron base, Tidepool, you know, Path 1, Blastertron Path 1. Or you can just sit on the videos and do all of one character, which that's what viewers have said they prefer, is go ahead and show us everything on Tidepool, then move into Blastertron. But the way things stand with work, that can't happen. I left, this is the earliest I've left in forever. I think it was like 7:30. And what I did then is I got in my truck and I drove up to town. It was about 97 degrees. And I had to go get groceries. Not that I have a lot of time to eat those either. But since I was running errands, and this is pertinent for you, take my chances. I'm like, hey, Target, let's go Robo, right? No, nothing. No Chompy Mage in the standard attire, no Robo in the Lost Imaginite Mines. So I go to Toys R Us. Didn't figure they'd have anything, but hey, you never know. Try to remain optimistic. So went in there and nothing. But I remembered that they'd emailed me that it was 2 for 15 on the creation crystals, right? And I was sitting here and I've had this come up. I mentioned it in the channel update. The plan in Skylanders is basically finish out research for the senseis. So that's your Blastertron, your Tidepool, chain reaction, buckshot, so on and so forth. Assuming we get Robo, we'll throw him and Chompy Mage in there. That's the plan, and then if we don't get Robo in like a timely manner, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take everybody, we're going to go up against Chaos. I think that's all we have left in the game as best I know. I don't really know how it's divided, but I know the next chapter is Lair of Chaos, or theme, I don't even know. That they're not really called chapters anymore, but that's what we go to next. And so prior to doing that, though, we're going to have to complete the adventure packs. We don't have to, but I'll have to go in to Thumpin' Moompa Islands in order to get Crash and Cortex's soul gems. It just makes sense, in my opinion, to go ahead and do Cursed Tiki Temple. If you recall, we already had Wildstorm's soul gem, so it kind of worked out good for us. But we'll do that. We'll battle Chaos. At that point in the time, and this is something I've planned for an eternity, it's not like it just was some revelation, but at that point in time is when I will begin doing this, investigating the creation crystals, the Imaginators, if you will. I don't have the money to purchase one. It was a really stupid decision to not just let you reset the crystals in-game. It's so amazing. Yeah, I can just hit, the select button, or double square button, whatever it's called on your controller. And if we wanted to give this guy a complete makeover, we can do it. If we want to change everything about him, we can do it. And you can do it here, you can do it from the pause menu, you can do it in the middle of a game, you could do it in the middle of a fight with Chaos. You could just totally change it. It's fantastic. But the fact that then what's locked to the crystal is the Brawler, or the Sentinel, or the Quick Shot. And that sucks, because it basically makes people have to go out and buy another crystal. And that's, I truly believe, where things started to go burnout for Skylanders, for the majority of people, was Trap Team. Now, the traps, while I personally, and I said this at E3 to the actual people, I was like, I'd rather just have, and everyone pushed Pinata so heavy there, and I was like, tell me more about Wolfgang. But my thing was, it's like, well, the trap is cool and it's only $6, but I'd rather pay like another $3 to $5 and have a real figure for Pinata, which lo and behold, we've gotten now, right? But you had the traps, and people bought them somewhat begrudgingly, and then there was the issue where things weren't fully released, and so completionists are having to import things or buy them from scalpers. And then with superchargers, we come in, right? And you've got vehicles, and it's like, oh, cool, what do the traps do? Let me bust out Broccoli Guy and Chill Bill, and it's like, oh, they'll temporarily boost your speed. And it's like, who in the middle of a race, like, throws down on the floor, grabs their portal, and drops a trap in it? I mean, that's stupid. I never, ever did it, because it's dumb. It's nice that they thought to go ahead and keep them functional, but that's not their original function. So that sucked. And then in Superchargers, of course, you had the vehicles. And lo and behold, they've got racing in the game now, but it's like, it's the same thing. And so I was a proponent long before Superchargers came out for a Skylanders kart racing game. Catch being, I didn't want anyone to have to buy vehicles. Okay, it would be a deal that your character would unlock the vehicle. If you want to do fancy stuff and have land, air, and sea races, Pinata has his candy submarine, his confetti wagon on the land, and then like the, lollipop helicopter thing. I don't know, but the purchasing of the vehicles, coming off Trap Team and learning that, hey, these traps don't really serve the same function, was kind of a letdown. That was a lot of money. And then to have Superchargers where parents were just sitting there like, and these are going to be like the traps in the next game, right, Timmy? And, little Julie's like, Mom, we got to get, the Reef Ripper. And it's like, well, no. So that's how you just oversaturate a market and burn people out. And then the creation crystals, right? You come in and people are already thinking like, oh, and they're so similar to the trap for a casual consumer. So people come in and it's like, no, not again, not today, not now, not ever. And then it's like, well, oh, wow, you can make your own character. That's kind of cool. And then you buy it, and as soon as the kids create Air Brawler right here, they're like, okay, well, my sister wants to make the Air Magician. And we need, a sorcerer for that. And it's like, oh, you can't change the battle class. So what do the kids say? It's like, Mom, we need another air crystal. And it's like, well, why do you need that, Timmy and Julie? And they're like, well, because we made a brawler. And she's like, okay, what's the problem? And it's like, well, we can't change it. Bad idea. Very, very bad idea. Now, granted, what I'm going to do is use the beautiful 3DS reset to take care of this. Back in the day, before YouTube went to a mess that promotes clickbait and third-party multi-channel network people, I might have been able to make enough money to purchase the crystals to do that. Actually, I wouldn't have, but I would have at least had something to put towards it. I mean, at $10 a pop, no way, no how am I going to do that. And I say that because assuming we get a Skylanders 7, which I still remain optimistic for, I feel like you have to maintain this. You can't just have Imaginators where you create your own Skylander and then just scrap it. There needs to be some way to utilize them. But even thinking along those lines, that would be ridiculous. Number of crystals. Again, I've said for a long time, storage space has become an issue for me. But I'm just going to reset. So I made reset me, and no one on the streams will ever let me reset him type of a thing. But what I'm going to do in the plan is Brawler will be first because I'm going alphabetical. At least I don't think there's anything prior to Brawler. If there is, I apologize. But we're going to go Air, Earth, Fire. And I'm just going to go down the line. We're going to compare and contrast. And that should give me content for a very long time. And that's what I want to do. When certain channels are given the game like months before anyone else that gets early review copies, and on day one when the embargo lifts and I've like busted my butt working 50 to 60 hour weeks at a real job and then staying up all night filming unboxings and having everything ready to go on the embargo release day, and they're releasing the final battle of the game at the same point in time where I'm like unboxing the starter pack. What point is it for me, the independent, the non-partner channel, to crank out like the entire game before I even have the characters ready to go, before we get to upgrade them? It's just stupid. And so that's the way they choose to handle things. And then they have, like I said, people that don't have a real job, that just do YouTube, that are able to sit at home and get the game way, way, way before anybody else and put the entire thing out there. I could have rushed through the game in a week, had it all uploaded, and it wouldn't really benefit me or my channel any. So if you've ever wondered, like, hey, why have you not fought Chaos yet? Well, there's your answer. It's best for me to take a leisurely approach where I can enjoy it at my own pace. And in addition to that, no one else cranks out the number of Skylander videos I do. We do introductions, base upgrades, Path 1, Path 2. We live stream all of the chapters, and then we upload those or try to get YouTube to have them actually show up in my video manager when I stream on YouTube. And I think a lot of people were oblivious to that, but that's the way it is for me, because when someone on day one has uploaded everything, they've just thrown every unboxing carelessly into one like mass video or a couple of sets of videos, and the whole game is uploaded, the second the embargo ticks off. And here I am, I busted my butt, I've slept like 2 hours a night for the past like 3 days, when they sent the stuff out. And it's like, you can't compete with that. And so, people are going to go their places. I feel like I've got a niche audience. I kind of do things no one else does. I go into far more detail. And I just have to rely on that. And then in terms of everything else, even if I was the first person to release it, a lot of people do that to compete with these others that get things so in advance. They try to drop leaks. That's not usually on accident. It's intentional, and it's done to get attention and direct traffic to their channel. You know, you can play it any other way you want to, but that's the truth of the matter. You know, because it's very simple. Now, sometimes it can genuinely be a mistake, but when it's continually the same people doing the same thing, you've got some issues. Either they're incompetent and shouldn't be involved with anything, you know, as serious as, you know, an embargo of content, don't release before this time on this date, you know, or just take them out of the program, man. You know, they're clearly going to continue to be an issue for you. But for whatever reason, it is what it is. I do the best I can, and the difference between me and a lot of other people is I genuinely enjoy the game. If you go back to SSA, as far as I know, I'm the first person to upload it. You know, that's when the channel was really growing, SSA and Giants. You know, at that point in time, there wasn't strategy guides. People all came to my channel to figure out where stuff was. I didn't find it with a strategy guide. I found it because I loved the game and I explored the frickin' thing, you know. And that's what we do here, you know, where other people got done with the game in 2 weeks and say it's boring and, you know, just move on. My master plan all along was to save the Imaginators and the ridiculous amount of time it's going to take to compile all the information for this point in time. And so the bottom line is, since I couldn't do Blastertron, I thought, you know, I'm going to go ahead and get started here and crank out, get the money for these characters. The Soul Gem, for example, I just bought. It was 4,000, and I've already logged this guy, but don't get too excited because we will progress in order unless there's like some huge outpouring of, oh, do that now, you know, type of a thing. But I would like to try to build just the same person, this guy, Stanley, I think is what we're going to call him. I'd like to build a Stanley, like verbatim per elements. And just Stanley the Air Brawler, Stanley the Earth Brawler, Stanley the Earth Sentinel, Stanley the Fire Sorcerer, you know, so on and so forth. And take it in stride. So that's the plan. Again, I'd been getting some people questioning that. The channel update was a mess. I apologize about it. I do think I articulated all the Skylanders stuff eventually. But I did want to kind of let you know my plans. And I will be prioritizing Imaginators Research, as in my created Skylander research, over the racing side of the game, because truth be told, if you want to see the racing side of the game, you can watch my Superchargers videos where we did all the racing. So at some point in time, if we finish this and people still want the content, maybe we'll go back into it at that point in time. But that said, we've spent 18 minutes here. Oh, the other thing, and this is important too. So Toys R Us has the 2 for $15 creation crystals, right? And you look at the fine print and it's like all crystals $9.99 and under. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I should probably buy a couple of these. It would make my life a little easier. And then I was thinking, 2 for $15, that's $7.50 a piece. That's not really that good of a deal. You know, they're like shaving off $2.49. And this is at the same time you're seeing buy one, get 4 free on every other Skylander that's not in the Imaginators line. And I'm thinking, I think I'll pass. And then it dawned on me, I was like, oh wait, Toys R Us has those exclusive gold creation crystals that come with the comic. And if you wonder why I haven't bought and unboxed those, it's for the very reasons I gave you already. I'm skeptical of investing time and money into additional crystals that I don't know what function they will serve in the future. So I thought, you know what, screw it, we're going to go for it. We'll get them on sale, justify it. I'll have some unboxings, it'll be quick videos. People will like seeing them, and I'll have these ready to go for when we, you know, need the additional crystals perhaps. So I go to check out, and I'm like, yeah, you know, here you go. I bought something else that was on sale, and I'll unbox that soon. It wasn't Skylanders related. If you got any guesses, feel free to throw it down. And if you get it right, congratulations, I guess. It's, you can probably guess pretty easy what it is. But anyway, went up there, and he like gave me the total, and I was like, no, I can do the math in my head. I knew what I bought on sale, what it cost. And then I did the math, and I was like, that's full price for those 2 crystals. And I was like, are these not on sale? They're supposed to be 2 for $15, man. And he was like, oh, these 2? And I was like, yeah, you know, the ones that are similar. And he scanned them again. He's like, no, what are they supposed to be? I'm like, 2 for 15, and he scans them, and he's like, it's not coming up. What does the tag say? I'm like, all creation crystals, $9.99 or less, which is all of them, are on sale. And he's like, oh, I don't think they are. And so, you know, good for you, Toys R Us. I guess if I decide to buy them, I guess I'll come back when they're like 4 for 10, you know, so your loss is my gain, I suppose. So I did try to do that for you. It didn't quite pan out, but anyway, this guy right here, let me know your thoughts on him, because you're going to be seeing a lot of him here in the near future, for better or for worse. But anyway, let's go ahead and I'm going to pull him off the portal. We've got Tidepool ready to go, and we're going to take her down her top path. The other thing I started getting after doing Secret Forces, in addition to more and more people saying that was definitely the better path in their opinion, was that the top path is way too similar to Dr. Crankcase's top path. So we may investigate that at the end. My apologies for rambling 21 minutes here, but I feel like that's all pertinent information, and it prepares you for the future. Spyro557 was asking about that, like, hey, are you gonna do this? Apparently, I would assume no one else has taken the time to break down the created Skylanders, which I could imagine that, because not many people really take the time to showcase the paths the same way I do. But anyway, I think the main sell for YouTubers in terms of creating your own Skylander is, hey, look, I'm going to make Inspector Gadget in Skylanders. And then they, you know, take artwork and Photoshop it and put Inspector Gadget from the animated series into a thumbnail for the video that then proceeds to get tons of clicks. And then if you were to watch the video, the character they create looks absolutely nothing like Inspector Gadget. Yeah, I'm just over here with my titles that say what the video is about and thumbnails from said video. I don't plaster my face in them, and we don't use pointy arrows and exclamation points and all caps in the titles. So, I really wish YouTube would go back to what it was. I really, really do. Because you would have people that, you know, I don't know, don't make good videos, just make stupid stuff, not be rewarded like they are now. And the problem I've got, I know exactly what to do to be successful, and I could start doing it tomorrow, but then I would be a sellout, and I wouldn't be true to myself, and I would rather go to bed at the end. Well, I rarely sleep, but when I do, I'd rather go to bed knowing that I'm doing things my way and I'm doing things the right way, as opposed to knowing that I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to get more clicks on my video, which would probably translate into more subscribers and more viewers. I want this to go down like it did in SSA Giants and early into Swap Force, where you come in and people find the channel and they're like, oh, man, you know, look at all this content here. This is good. Wow, you know, somebody went into detail. I sincerely appreciate that. And look, you know, his titles are actually accurate. What he says the title of the video is actually pertinent to the video at hand. So, yeah, that's my little soapbox update. Also of note, I haven't seen the video, but I saw it on Twitter. P. Diddy T, he was a big proponent of Battlecast. He might be one of the only people I know of that's actually, I think, completed it. Apparently they're shutting the servers down. And this is another reason why I hate mobile gaming. That's asinine. I think that game should have been supported better. I've said, I think maybe even in the last channel update, if not several of them, I've been like, why don't they release more character cards? You know, not even if it doesn't have to be a physical release in stores, but just like, hey guys, we're updating Battlecast. You can now play as Terrafin and Pinata and Crash. You know, just interjecting Crash and Cortex would be huge for the frickin' thing. Just bringing back some of the original SSA characters and throwing them into the game would have been cool. There is a huge market. I feel like that should be brought to PC as well. But hey, I could spend hours and hours talking about this stuff. But that was pretty disappointing, I've got to say, to see that go down. I feel like just a little extra time and effort promoting it. And then, of course, investing in updates. You know, like one of the reasons Minecraft continues is they're constantly evolving the game, you know, and for free. If it was still, you know, like what it was back in the day, people probably would have burned out on it. But as they continue to evolve the game, there's more and more and more you can do. Things you've already done in terms of like automated farming get better or easier, or more sinisterly complex with the additions of like observer blocks and new AI and mob mechanics. Never once did we get anything in terms of updates there. So yeah, speaking of updates, I guess we've got 25 minutes of one, so let's get cracking.
In a league of my own.
You know, speaking of, oh man, I just realized I didn't take her through her upgrades here. Oh, you know what else? Well, there's one more thing actually. Yeah. So let's do it this way, shall we? A very, very quick recap for you. And yes, I have started the spreadsheet for the Imaginators, so hype train aboard. Alright, so primary attack squid pistols, 17 to 26. No jump attack, squid toss, 22 to 33 impact, 16 to 24, 2 at a time. Whale tail. You come in, you get 2 to 3 5 times. Tail slam, 17 to 26. Spin shots. You're going to come in 17 to 26. Unknown number of times. It depends how high of a cliff you jump off of, really. And if there's enemies below tall cliff. Blinding Ink is up next. Still 17 to 26 on all pistol attacks. Blinding Inks will slow enemies and cause some misses. Case in point with the Chompies, where they would typically see you and come and bite your thigh. Now they might jump 6 inches right and miss you. And then down here, the final base upgrade, Whale Breach. Whale Tail ends with a spectacular Whale Breach, just like in Free Willy. 2 to 3 5 times is still the norm. The Tail Slam does 27 to 41 up, and then down 27 to 41 2 times. So that turned out to be pretty cool. If you're interested in the bottom path, Secret Forces, as I like to call it, because believe it or not, these do have names. And check out the previous video, and it's a pretty good path. Squid Squabble is amazing, I'll say that. And then these, what the big thing here, they're wider, but they push enemies back. And then with Deep End, when you've got the whales pushing enemies back and this pulling them in, and you can just chuck squids at them and then shoot from a distance, it's a pretty well-rounded devastation cycle. So that said, we're going to go up top here, and we're going to take Aquamarine Raider, which both names are cool, but I think this one I like a little better. But we shall see. So this solely is dedicated to the primary attack and the squid pistols. So we're going to select that. Oh, Skylander Tutor. I miss you so. So I link to that. Squid pistols cause damage over time. Let's be honest. This will probably determine the fate of the path. Most definitely, in my opinion. Could be wrong, but right now that's what it seems. So the squid pistols, if you recall, 17 to 26. And then on your fourth shot, you did the 360 with 6 bullets. And they've not really been addressed since. You've got the jump attack. Really, it's more if you jump off a cliff, like right over there. And then Blinding Ink, but it's still 17 to 26. So let's come in here. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Oh my gosh. So damage over time. I'm hoping in addition to damage over time, 17, if it could just become 20 to 30, that would be a nice gesture for the player. If it's 18 to 27, somebody needs to reach their hand through the screen and slap me. Well, that's a articulate shot. Okay. Guess who's going upstairs? Why does damage over time not show on these guys? It typically does, right? But it's still 17 to 26. That's not great, sadly. I've got a surprise for you as we head back up, though. Oh, dadgum, oh, no, what I was doing, I was trying to come to the menu and I hit B instead. I didn't buy it? Weird? Well, okay, I feel fine now. Did the pistols change any? I don't think they did. So, can we see a 20? Nope. Okay. Okay, is it 3 or 4? The first time I counted 4, now I'm getting 3. Point blank range. Huh, I guess we'll go with 3. I swear the first time I thought it was 4, but then again, I just didn't buy an upgrade that I thought I'd bought, so who knows, bear with me, 2:50 in the morning, so still, I'm going to put still. When you see still in the spreadsheet, you know I'm getting salty. 17 to 26. Damage over time, which I use DOT, Department of Transportation, damage over time, pick your poison. DOT of 5. If we ever saw a critical on that, it would be 8. 3 times. So, for those of you that don't feel like doing math at 3 in the morning, allow me. Assuming the worst case scenario where we get one shot on an enemy and we hit them, and it will do 17 baseline, and then 5 to 8 3 times. So again, going baseline, 15. So basically, if you hit an enemy, 17 plus 3 5s is 15, 17 and 15 is 32. Now, if we were to get all criticals, we would have 26 plus 8, 8, and 8, which is 24, 26, and 24 is 50. So, cumulatively, 32 to 50. However, you got to realize you're going to fire like this, right? You're gonna ink this place up. And so, oh no. Here's the deal. We finally saw a crit there. That was 3 shots. And we're only... So it's not stacking the damage over time. Which isn't a fantastic thing, but... I don't know. But why... Seriously, why? Could 17 to 26 not have increased to something? 20? I mean, minimally, I thought would have been expected.
I think I can make these numbers work.
Man, her voice is so cool. I mean, like, I genuinely love her voice. Okay. That aside, inking big. Like, if I had to pick a Skylander to have a conversation with while watching the reveal for Skylander 7, it'd probably be Tidepool, because she's got a cool voice. So, she'd probably say, be making fun of my accent, and I guess I'd be doing the same of hers, but... inking big, hold X for a huge big ink blob shot. This upgrade brought to you by Splatoon 2. You know, I still never played Splatoon. And I don't think I have the time to pick up Splatoon 2 either. But everyone I know that plays it really seems to like it. I don't know. I mean, I could get it in Minecraft, maybe. But hold X for a huge big ink blob shot. So, World of Goo, here we come. Oh, that didn't take long to charge. And she still moves very, very agile while doing this. Plus, it looks awesome.
Ink blast!
2! We only got 2 overtime? Okay, we got 3 there. Okay, I'm gonna try my very best to put this between the 2 dummies.
Squid shot!
I don't know. Let's try to hold this longer. That's 10 seconds. I don't think it's going to do more than 65, sadly. Ouch. That's not good. And here's the thing. By the time you've held that, you've got 65 plus 17, right? So that's 82. 5 shots of that is 85. You know, 4 shots of it is 68. So, a little disappointing there. 65, half of 65 is 32. 5, so 33, which is 98. 65 to 98 with 5 to 8, 3 times damage over time. Now, that's the other thing. Like, cool, it's 65, but wouldn't it have been nice if, like, the damage over time went up because it was a bigger shot of ink? You know, again, even if that just went to like 8 to 12, it would have been very much appreciated. So,
Provided you are satisfied with my credentials.
come in here and take Squid Pistol, Kata, Kata, I don't know really. After an inking big shot, so you press X, you hold X, and then once you've fire that out, you get Squid Pistol Kata. So triple X for Squid Pistol Kata. This better be good. Like it genuinely better be good. So I'm gonna release that, and then I'm gonna take my time. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I must have waited too long, I'm assuming. So we'll let that time out, which doesn't take long. And I'm going to now release this and then just spam X 3 times. Okay, that was a lot to take in at this time of the morning.
Ink blast!
What exactly did she do? Just 2 additional shots of 65, maybe? Or is it... Whoa. Okay, there's a lot going on here. And it's 3 in the morning, and this is a little overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely a good thing, though, to be overwhelmed, because the first 2 upgrades were kind of underwhelming. Especially, I'm sitting here thinking of Squid Squabble. I mean, you can keep everything to do with the whales and even the frickin' Tidepool. Just getting Squid Squabble? I mean, 22 to 33 on impact, and then 16 to 24, 26 freaking times? Good lord. I mean, like, that should have just been the soul gem, you know? So, I have no idea if we will ever document this. What's weird is when you're thinking, okay, you know, XXX, you're just going to do this. You've got to ingrain it in your mind to charge shot and then spam it.
Excellent!
Oh, you know, coming down here, that was a really nice look at it. So, we're going to hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then she jumps up. So I think it's 4 shots that might be inking big at 65. Let's try it again. I feel like that's what I'm going to roll with. Squid Pistol Kata. After inking big shot. XXX 4. I guess, yeah, some consoles that's different, but whatever. XXX, thank you. You're welcome, Microsoft, for their promotion. And people have asked me about that recently. The reason that I record from the Xbox, it's just better frame rates. I don't have as many issues as I did on the Wii U. And I feel like it's a crisper, higher quality video. And I do not have Imaginators for the Switch. I don't really know why I would purchase it for the Switch when I already have 2 copies and dark editions and all kinds of crud. So, maybe someday, like if it gets to the point where it's like $10, I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, but for now, I mean, the Xbone and the Wii U are plenty for my needs. So, triple XXX for 4X 65 to 98 plus grand finale of Raining Ink. It has a name now. I'm calling it Raining Ink. So hold it. 1, 2, 3. There's 4, and then she just goes up top and just rains her fury down. Is one of those actually a 65 to 98 as well? There's so much going on. Once again, it's just so hard to hold X, and then when you're thinking XXX, right? It may be. Maybe in editing I can pick up on that. But I feel way better about this path after that. I didn't know what that would be. I thought it would be the lamest thing. And this is my surprise, though. I don't know if it's because I put down the air element guy and created an Imaginator, or what, but our little robot friend is back, and I hope he gives me an Imaginite chest. Red Tiki Temple of the Ancient Curse. Dragon Island has awoken, and the Mabu are under attack. Help Cinder locate the source of an ancient curse and return peace to the Mabu village. Available now. Aha! Thank you, kind sir.
New ears.
Yeah, we might use that.
Oh, yeah!
Okay, now, one of these I think will be from our air brawler friend. Sensei Shrine, Sensei Shrine, Sensei Shrine. That's Blastertron, right? I think so. Since we've covered it and since this video is a marathon of everything, here we go.
New arms.
Bird arms. Oh, I've wanted this set for a long time. I don't care what anyone says, I think I can do something cool with it. I guess we could also use these parts. The problem is you have to unlock them. Like you would think you throw down the air crystal for the first time and it'd be like default Birdman. Nope, it's default Sparkman. Or woman.
New legs. Set part found.
Oh, I don't like those toenails. Whoops.
New tail. Set part found.
That's cool.
New head.
Ha!
Set complete.
Yeah, buddy. What did we get? Oh, no way, the adventurer's hat. We're one step closer to Flynn, I suppose. That's a pretty good hat in terms if you value luck, which that is important for acquiring cash in this game, basically. So cool. I'm fine with that. And we'll see if this guy comes back. I thought I'd just like trash talked him so much that he would just never return. I don't know. We're coming in here because I think Squid Pistol Kata will look better. Plus, I've got to showcase the Sky Chi for you, as well as the Soul Gem. I just realized we hadn't done that either. Man, this is going to be a long video. See that adventurer's hat? I think we can color it. And we've already default box stock. You get like the pilot's coat. And then I think Flynn might wear the adventurer's pants, you know. Anyway, like if people were creating like things that looked like what they say they are, you know, it wouldn't be like a big deal, but you know. And then the main thing though is like the thumbnails that have, I don't know, and I don't even know if anyone did the example I gave earlier, but like if you say you're gonna create Mario and Luigi, okay? And you come in, and I mean, you could probably throw something together that would be as close as you can get to them in this game, but it's still not really going to look like them. But then when you use a thumbnail and you've got like a grafted image you've taken of Mario, and you just overlay that onto a creation screen, yeah, you know, works for most people. I kind of lose respect for people, but that's just me. I'm old school, so... that's that. Anyway, let's take a look at Blinding Ink. Well, damage over time. Okay. Now we'll charge up an Inking Big Shot. I'm hoping this does like massive knockback. A little bit. Didn't send him back as far as I thought it would. I do like that it like laid him out flat on his back though. That was appreciated. So, yeah, that shows case. I'll ink to that and inking big, believe it or not. Let's go ahead and get this, and I'm going to charge this up, shoot it. Okay, well, that's going to be a pain to showcase here, isn't it? So all I'm trying to do is... Wow. Anytime you actually dissipate training dummy in like one moveset, it's pretty potent. So 65 to 98 4 or 5 times plus whatever the end does. I guess you should expect that. That's it.
Make these numbers work.
God, her voice is awesome. I don't know who the voice actress is behind that, or I guess it could be a dude doing it, but sounds like it'd be like some really cute chick. But what do I know? Not much. Emergency Shellmet Defense. Hold B to enter a defensive Shellmet mode. While in Shellmet mode, press X to charge forward. This is actually pretty cool in my opinion. Some people probably hate it just based on the aesthetics, but pay attention to her like leg guards and her helmet, and as well as the squid pistols, because you will see all of those. I guess her forearm protectors as well, and shoulder pads. It all combines. Everything that's not like the cool gold mermaid leg short yoga things. So what do we hold? Was it B? Look at that. See how the squid pistols or what she walks with. Yeah, I like it. You cannot really do anything. I've had it to times where you can hold it seemingly perpetually, but you hold 2 seconds for B, you spawn the crabs, they do 5 to 8 damage. If you dash attack, they do 38 to 57. So case in point, I don't have to hold B anymore. There's the crabs. We'll let them kind of run their course. We could probably actually count the number of times they hit him. But it does do a little bit of knockback, which is cool. And again, no hand on anything except the analog stick. We're able to navigate quite nicely. And like I said, I've stayed in shellment mode for quite some time. The big question, and dadgum, I forgot to test this last night, or 2 nights ago, I was so tired, but what I will do now is actually come in, not in this video, by no means, we've wasted too much time, but I'll see what that does in terms of taking damage. Like say that we get hit from an enemy at 30, if I'm in shellment mode, do we take no damage? Do we take 10, 15, 20, something in between, or full damage? We will try to remember to make note of that. So if you already know, feel free to let me know. I will not have time to investigate tonight.
Provided you are satisfied with my credentials, let's get to work.
Man, I don't know. Am I the only one that picks up like the female jetvac vibe from that? I don't know. Just such a cool voice. Ultimate Sensei attack. Hold the right trigger to perform your Sky Chi power, which is, what are you waiting for? We've already got that, of course, because, hey, I had to go to Sky Fortress and get it again. So the main numbers you need to look at here are 47 to 71. My favorite thing about this is she rides on the whale, so it's kind of cool, I suppose.
Watch this!
Oh, we're watching. I guess there's, okay, now we're getting damage over time, huh? Of 5 to 8.
For me, I mean.
So that's a benefit. I mean, you're typically going to wipe everyone out with your Sky Chi, but I guess if you didn't, it's cool to have the 5 to 8 working as you come out and kind of lay waste in this manner.
Okay.
That said, though, we got through the path pretty quick. It's just we spent like 25 minutes talking about other things, although they are important in my opinion. So I'm going to end this massive marathon of awesomeness. I know everyone, at least everyone commenting here as of late, and prior to this, because if you recall, it took me forever to find Tidepool and Blastertron. She's got a big fan base. It looks like she's a very popular lady for the Gentleman Portal Master audience. I don't really know how to word that. Kind of creepy. But hey, like I said, I wouldn't mind hanging out with her. I think she's got a cool voice. So, and she's got cool hair too. I mean, check it out, right? Pretty neat lady. That said, let me know your thoughts on Tidepool. Did you take Aquamarine Raider? If so, how do you feel about it? How do you think it stacks up to Secret Forces? Are you happier with it? If you took Secret Forces and you thought it was pretty good and you're just seeing Aquamarine Raider for the first time, are you going to reset her, or are you sitting there saying, haha, I made the correct decision. We shall never reset Tidepool, and she shall forever remain on the bottom path Secret Forces. I mean, honestly, I would say the bottom path is probably better. But I would like to go ahead and let her go through some in-game sequences and kind of see how all this pans out, because the damage over time, I mean, here's the thing. If you compare 5 to 8 3 times with the pistol that shoots you doing 17 to 26, and then you look at Squid Squabble, even just box stock Squid Squabble, or Squid Toss as it's called at that point in time, 22 to 33 on impact, which outguns the pistol, and then it does 16 to 24 12 times. And that's box stock, and then like, it doesn't make sense. What really amazes me is we took an entire path dedicated to the squid pistols, and the 17 to 26 never once increased. Ever. That's just mind-boggling to me. But this is a pretty neat aesthetic, and I think if we had like a group of enemies here, we'd enjoy it. I feel like it would have been a little bit better if we would have like maybe had 3 shots and it fans out. I'm not saying they all have to hit the same enemy, but just only trying to compete with Squid Squabble. I don't know if this path delivers there. However, the thing that I was the least sure about, the final upgrade where we do this, it could be pretty potent in game. So I'll try to test it out and give you my thoughts on it. But nonetheless, hey, we've caught up here with Tidepool. Next video should be Blastertron's base upgrade, so get ready for that. After that, I'm wondering if we can either do Chain Reaction and Buckshot, or we can just jump into Thumpin' Moompa Islands and get those 2 guys rolling there. But I don't know. If you got any thoughts, let me know. And like I said, I wanted to cover the toy. And here's the real kicker on Toys R Us, though. I got home and I was like, hey, I'm going to pull up online and see if they list those crystals. I couldn't find them on their website. But what I did find is all the crystals on their website are $5.99. And then their promo, even there, was buy 2 for $15, and it's like, you'd have to be an idiot. You can get them for $6 a piece online, but if you buy 2, they're going to charge you $15. I mean, what logic is that? That's just incompetency, like on display, not only in retail but online at your storefront there. So I don't know. I think I've got one of every crystal, so I can just reset them. Aside from reset me, heaven forbid, the stream team would kill me if we ever got rid of the beloved reset me troll, right? I do love Sir Skellington, though. He was the first Imaginator I made. Those are the only 2 I'd made prior to tonight. That's my number 3. If you think, wait, I thought you had someone else, my nephew made Harambe. And for what it's worth, that actually does kind of look like Harambe. But anyway, I'm going to quit rambling. I hope you had a good time here. Hope you learned a little something. If you go to Toys R Us and you don't have those special crystals with the comics, and you're able to pick them up on the sale price, let me know, because I'm just intrigued by that. But my apologies on the long video. It would have been fairly short, under 30 minutes, had we not have done the 25-minute sort of update thing with it. But hey, it is what it is. Wiisdom.com, SkylanderClub.com. Sign up on the forum if you have not. I will eventually be posting all the spreadsheets you would ever want to see on that site, because I created it and I made it for Portal Masters like yourself. So my advice, sign up and enjoy it. MindLogics.net for everything Minecraft. If you or someone you know would be a good fit for the MindLogics SMP server, by all means have them apply. And maybe tell me on Twitter that they've done so I'll actually check the application form. But hey, follow me on Twitter. I will tweet all my videos. I will tweet before I go live. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and do that, and then click the bell so you'll actually be notified. And they'll probably add like a doorbell you have to click and an optional light switch here in a couple updates. They actually updated it tonight, and I hate it. There's like this, I'm like, what is this? It's weird. And there, when I right click to go to Creator Studio, there's a return to classic YouTube, and I'm like, yes, please. Let's not change things anymore. But hey, it is what it is. Hope you had a good time. Again, Tidepool, y'all picked to have her over Blastertron, so I delivered it for you. And that said, I was more optimistic. I love her voice, though. She's a very cool chick. Blastertron, though, is who I was the most excited for out of this pairing, and I'm very, very excited to get him rolling with his upgrade. So should see base upgrades of Blastertron Saturday. If I can somehow squeeze in more time, I try to get multiple videos up this weekend. And I will leave it at that. Sorry for the long video. I will have a note in the description to skip to roughly the point where we start these upgrades, so don't complain, or I'll point out that it's in the description. But nonetheless, I gotta get some sleep, which means I've got to edit and render this, and I will catch you back here for the next installment of Skylanders Research. Adios.